Great, aren't they? Hopefully, I'll get a little break. Welcome, everybody in the U.S. and around the world on our different times. Check it out. We've got our podcast going. As we mentioned, we are back. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just rolling. We're just getting back into the saddle. Going to take a little time. We had a couple uh, great guests last couple weeks. Check it out. We're on Spotify, YouTube, social media on Facebook, Baseball Outside the Box, also on the Peter Caliendo. You could find us, Google it. Do us a favor, subscribe if you can. We really appreciate it. We got some great shows that are going to come up, and for all the baseball coaches out there in the U.S. around the world, just a little challenge for you. Question of what are some of the things that you struggle with the most. It'd be great if you could email us. You could email us at baseballoutsidethebox at gmail.com. Again, baseballoutsidethebox at gmail.com. Email us what you're struggling with. We all struggle with something. I've been fortunate to be in the game now. It's close to 45 years, and I still feel like I'm learning and trying to get through things that we all struggle with. We all try to get better, get that extra edge. It's important to get the extra edge, right? Especially if you're competing. I'm doing it more because I want to help as many coaches as possible. The better I am, the better I can transfer that stuff to whether it be younger coaches or coaches around the world, doesn't matter. And that's the reason I do the podcast is simply because I'm able to share a lot of information from other coaches as I have guests in the U.S. and around the world and some of the best experts. All the guests I have, I pretty much have either worked with, listened to, studied, just get an understanding of what their teaching is, their philosophies, their presentations, their personalities, all that. We try to include as many people as possible. So as you know, we're in over 100 countries, and we got to grow that because we've been in over 100 countries. I know we can grow it. We got a WhatsApp group with over 100 countries on it. We also have Caliendo baseball group on Facebook. It's Caliendo baseball group on Facebook. We have in one Facebook page, we got over close to 1,000 coaches on there. And then we have a specific one, Caliendo International Baseball Coaches, and that's for international coaches, not USA coaches, more for international. And we share a lot of information together. I think that's great. The more we have that, the better. Give you an idea. What are we focusing on here at the podcast, Baseball Outside the Box? We're trying to think outside. What are some of the better teaching methods out there? But also, more importantly, as I mentioned, send us what you're struggling with. I'm going to get your ideas. I'm going to tell you my ideas. I think there's three main topics, and we have already covered some of these topics, and we're going to continue to cover them because I think it's one of the most important things in the development of the game, whether it be at the youth level or at the older level, professional level. I don't think it matters where. I think these three things need to be stressed in practice, in games, whatever you're doing with development. You can have all the other stuff. The fundamentals are important, obviously. The fundamental skills, you got to get past those a little bit before you can get to these. But these will help in developing those skills also, and then transfer them to game situations. Number one, never understood this. I know we're all scared. We're not really sure about it. How do we put it into practice? And that's our visual training. And I'm not talking about just checking your eyes, having, go to slowthegamedown.com. Again, slowthegamedown.com, the best in the business. There's some other very good ones too, but they're at the top. Ryan Harrison, has been all over the world with us, and check him out because he's really good. Now I know coaches, we're not experts in the vision training. It takes a lot of work. Individual players can go to experts like Ryan and get their training in, but also if we can get the coaches to do things in practice. Every practice, in my opinion, should have visual training involved somehow. Some type of visual training, tracking, identification, because vision, everybody thinks it just helps your hitting. I believe it helps all skills. Why just hitting? Doesn't it help your fielding? Doesn't it help your pitchers locate the spots, the better your vision? Catchers catching the ball or beating the glove to that spot because of vision, tracking the ball better. Obviously, catchers track the ball a lot and they get a lot more training out of it. But fielding, hitting, whatever it may be, base running, I've got to see the ball. The better I can see the ball come out of that glove, quicker than than normal, I get a better jump. I mean, there's so many things that vision training helps with. So I think that's one of them. The second one, and these are things I struggled with, so that's why I believe it. They're also very important. Is the mental training, the mental part of the game. Look, whether you want to use the term failure, there's more failure in the game of baseball than there is success. So dealing with that failure is extremely important. Understanding how to get out of it. Next, and everybody talks about that next pitch, the next inning, whatever it may be. But there's ways to deal with that failure that will help you become better. And are you training for that daily? That's the question I have. Right now, we're live on Facebook. If you got any questions or any comments, please put them. Be glad to tell people about your comments and share them with them. I'll check it out here right now on Facebook and see what you're up to. Let's see if I can get you live. We are live, aren't we, folks? Isn't it great being live on social media? Gotta lower the volume here. Yeah, we're live. Bill Carlson, I see here, and we're starting to get a lot of people on here. But again, are you training for vision? Are you training the mental game consistently, right? Because we got to train the mental game every day in practice. Whatever the mental training is, it's got to be implemented in your practices, whether it's batting practice, whether it's fielding practice, pitching practice, whatever it may be. Because as you're training for that, then it's going to transfer a lot better in a game. That goes into the third thing, that all this kind of works together, and that's dealing in pressure in real games. How do we take that practice and put it as pressure, just like the military? We just talked about it, with Coach Jeff Del Fuego, ex-military guy, talked about, utilizing your practices and setting them up like a specific drill under pressure, specific game situation under pressure. We also had Kellen Lee, the mental training coach for the Seattle Mariners. We had that discussion with him. So there's a lot of great discussions within the last couple of podcasts, specifically on these items. It's great that you're fundamentally good, but how are you reacting in a game? Are you reacting just like you practiced under pressure, or are you reacting in a different way, or you got to think all the time? We talk about, players, you got to, if you're an infielder, think about, if the ball comes to me, what do I do? If it's to my left, what do I do to my right? If you got to think about all this, your mind's kind of going. I've watched the Japanese. They train so much under pressure, that they just react. And I think the better you react, then you have to think about it, the quicker you're going to be in those situations. Plus, if you drop a ball, what do you do? How do you react? You got to pick it up right away, make the play. There's so many things you got to do under pressure. And the more we're putting players under pressure, strict pressure in practice, the better they're going to be in games. It's better that you fail there. Didn't Michael Jordan say he failed more in practice and in life, and that's what made him better? Well, then let's start to train under pressure and failure, and let players understand that, right? Because they got to understand that they're going to be failing in practice a lot, because we're going to put more pressure on you. And now watch them get better in games. Now, is it all going to transfer perfectly? No, but you're trying to get the percentages up higher. So that's our podcast, Baseball Outside the Box. Join us. We try to make it fun. We want to interact with the coaches. We want to make it a conversation. Share it with other coaches, whether it's youth coaches, high school, college, pros. You're going to see the podcast helps everybody. And again, hope you'll join us. Subscribe to Spotify. Help us subscribe to YouTube. That just helps us get the show out. The more you subscribe, the better. Do us that favor. Let's see. We've got, we do have quite a few. Andrew Bio. Hey, Andrew from Malta. We're going to be there soon. Malta, great development place. They're really developing baseball in Malta right now because of Andrew and doing all the great work. So, Paul, where are you at? I think I see here see a few more guys. Let's see. Had a little glitch, went out, but that's all right. So, folks, that's a little short clip. Hopefully, you got something out of it. Join us. Again, Baseball Outside the Box podcast on Spotify and YouTube. And if you want to check out some things, go to CaliendoSportsInternational.com. You can see the podcast there. You can also see some of the trips we take around the world with baseball, softball teams, if you ever want to experience that. So again, happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. God bless you, and eat healthy. Ciao, everybody.